Before we begin, imagine sitting in a quiet restaurant, watching three men in tailored suits laugh as they refuse to pay a single mother's wages, until a man in simple black clothes steps out of the kitchen, and everything changes. Stay with me, because this story might change the way you see kindness, power, and respect forever. And if stories that restore your faith in humanity move you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. You never know whose life you might help uplift just by sharing a little light. The evening rush at Golden Ember Steakhouse was in full swing when Elena Martinez balanced a heavy tray on one hand and forced a smile onto her tired face. The restaurant glittered with crystal chandeliers and polished marble floors, the kind of place where one plate cost more than her weekly grocery bill. But to Elena, it was just another double shift. She had been on her feet since 10 that morning. Her son Mateo had a school science project due, and the materials weren't cheap. Rent was already 3 days late. Her manager had warned her gently, no more delays. Still, Elena smiled, because that's what you do when life doesn't. The doors swung open around 8 o'clock, and three men strode in wearing expensive suits and louder confidence. Their watches flashed gold. Their cologne arrived before they did. The host straightened instantly. They didn't need a reservation. Men like them never did. Elena was assigned their table. "Good evening, gentlemen," she said warmly, handing them menus. They barely looked at her. The tallest one, a man with slicked back silver hair, scanned her name tag. "Elena, bring us your best bottle of wine. Something older than you." The other two laughed. Elena kept her composure. "Of course, sir." They ordered the most expensive cuts of steak, imported seafood, sides they barely touched. They spoke loudly about investments, yachts, and a recent acquisition that made them unstoppable. Every time Elena approached, one of them found a way to diminish her. "Careful, sweetheart, don't spill that. Probably costs more than your car." She swallowed the sting. She had heard worse. But then came the bill. $2,843.76. Elena placed the check discreetly at the edge of the table. The silver-haired man glanced at it and smirked. He pushed it toward his friend. The friend pushed it back. Then the third man leaned back in his chair. "We're not paying that." Elena blinked. "Excuse me, sir. The steak was overcooked," one said. "It was perfect medium rare," another added with a grin. "The service was acceptable. But not worth that," said the first. Elena felt her stomach tighten. "Sir, if there's an issue, I can call my manager." "Go ahead." Her manager, Thomas, arrived quickly, apologetic and nervous. The three men talked over him, criticizing everything from the lighting to the temperature of the plates. It was clear what they were doing. They were testing how much power their money could buy. Thomas tried diplomacy. "Perhaps we can offer a small adjustment." "Adjust it to 0, the silver-haired man said casually. Thomas hesitated. Golden Ember was known for excellence. They rarely comped meals, especially not thousands of dollars. But these men were influential. Investors. Potential partners. Elena felt heat rising behind her eyes. If the bill wasn't paid, it could come out of staff bonuses. Tips. Maybe even wages. She thought of Mateo. "Please," she said softly, breaking protocol. "We did everything to ensure your meal was perfect." The men looked at her as if she were invisible. "Know your place," one muttered. And that's when it happened. From the back of the restaurant, past the kitchen doors where steam and fire met steel, a man stepped out. He wasn't dressed like a billionaire. No flashy watch, no tailored suit, just dark jeans, a crisp black shirt, and steady eyes. He walked slowly toward the table. The room quieted. Thomas straightened instantly. "Elena," the man said gently, "why don't you take 5? She stared at him, confused. Because she recognized him. Everyone who worked there did. But customers rarely did. It was Daniel Reed, the owner of Golden Ember. The billionaire founder who had built the restaurant empire from a single food truck 25 years ago. The man who still insisted on working in the kitchen twice a week. The three men looked up, annoyed. "And you are?" the silver-haired one asked. Daniel pulled out a chair and sat down at their table. "I'm the one who signs the paychecks," he replied calmly. The shift in the air was immediate. The laughter faded. Daniel folded his hands. "I've reviewed the kitchen logs. Your steaks were prepared precisely to temperature. The wine you requested is from our private reserve. The service was, as always, professional." He looked toward Elena briefly. His expression softened. Then back to them. "So tell me again why you're not paying." The men shifted uncomfortably. One tried to recover his swagger. "We simply expected better." Daniel nodded slowly. Better than what? Silence. You see, Daniel continued, voice even, I built this place with people who were told they weren't good enough. Immigrants, single parents, students working 2 jobs, people who show up early and leave late. He leaned slightly forward, and I will not allow anyone to treat them like they're disposable. The restaurant had gone completely silent now. Other diners were watching. Phones were subtly recording. The silver-haired man cleared his throat. There's no need to make this dramatic. Daniel smiled faintly. You're right, he signaled Thomas. Add a 25% inconvenience fee. The 3 men stared. For wasting my staff's time, Daniel clarified. Gasps rippled through nearby tables. The total updated. $3,554.70. You can pay now, Daniel said calmly, or I can call my attorney and have security escort you out. But either way, the bill will be settled. Power had shifted. Completely. The men exchanged glances. For the first time that evening, they looked small. Reluctantly, one pulled out a platinum card and placed it on the table. Daniel handed it to Elena. Would you do the honors? Her hands trembled slightly as she processed the payment. Approved. When she returned the card, Daniel stood. One more thing, he added. He looked at Elena. How much would you have earned in tips tonight? She hesitated. Maybe 600. Daniel nodded and turned back to the men. Add that too. What? One snapped. You tried to take her dignity, Daniel said evenly. Consider this tuition. Another charge. Another approval. The men left without another word. The restaurant erupted into quiet applause once the doors closed. Elena felt tears finally spill over. Daniel turned to her. You handled yourself with grace. I almost didn't, she admitted. But you did. He reached into his pocket and handed her an envelope. Inside was a check, $10,000. For Mateo's education, he said softly. I overheard you talking about his science project last week. She couldn't speak. You remind me of my mother, Daniel continued. She waited tables while I washed dishes. People were cruel to her too. But she never let it make her cruel back. He paused. Kindness isn't weakness. It's strength under control. That night changed more than Elena's bank account. The video of the incident spread online. Millions watched a billionaire defend a waitress. Interviews followed. Golden embers. Reputation soared. Not because of luxury, but because of integrity. But what mattered most to Elena wasn't the money or the attention. It was the moment someone powerful chose to stand beside someone overlooked. Months later, Mateo presented his science project, a small solar-powered food warmer inspired by his mom's long shifts. It won first place. Daniel attended the school fair quietly, standing at the back. Elena saw him before he could slip away. Why do you always stay behind the scenes? She asked. He smiled. Because the spotlight belongs to the people doing the hard work. Years passed. Elena eventually became floor manager. Then assistant director. Golden Ember started a scholarship program for employees' children. It was named after Daniel's mother. And every time a new server started their first shift, nervous and unsure, Elena would tell them. This place runs on respect. And no matter who walks through that door, never forget your worth. Because sometimes the richest person in the room isn't the one with the loudest voice. Sometimes it's the one who quietly protects others. If this story touched you, even a little, remember that the smallest act of standing up for someone can echo for generations. Like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us who we can be at our best. And the next time you see someone being treated as invisible, be the one who walks out from the back.